Okay, joined now by Tommy Barrett. Tommy, the season ends here in Athlone. You got to be scratching your head as to how you lost that game.
Well, look, I think it was always going to be a 1-0. I think the way the game was going, we probably missed. We had the better chances. They probably had the better play. To be fair to them, you can see they're used to playing on the Astro, So I thought we looked tired the last 15-20 minutes, which we probably expected because we were away from home on Tuesday night, and not making excuses or anything but they were at home, and it makes a difference. And we go to extra time, and we started to look a bit tired. I thought, in fairness, when we brought on the two lads with 5 minutes to go, Ben got up the pitch straight away, and Lee J and Mark Byrne were after running their socks off, and they're two top professionals, and it could have been any one of a couple. Carl O'Sullivan started looking tired as well, which you'd expect. We could have took off any couple of players, but it's just we had to take a chance then to get us up the pitch, and then you can see the poor soft enough goal, concentration, I suppose, 98 minutes. But look, it could have been either way.
There has been a few concessions in the 98 minutes throughout the season, Tommy, but I think this afternoon's one, it was against the run of play. I know you said they were coming into it, Bray, in the last quarter, but it was a game where you certainly dominated.
Well, we in terms of chances, I think, Mike, we definitely had the better chances. I think, as I said, in fairness, they probably had more of the ball, but that was our plan. Leave them play in front of you. I thought we had it. In fairness, the plan was going to a tee, and they were pushing up the pitch, leaving space in behind. But then that goal kind of killed us. That has been, I think somebody said to me that we've conceded a lot in the 90th, but I think between the 75th and 90th minute we're pretty even throughout the year. We've conceded I think 16 or 17 in those times, and I think we've scored 16 or 17 in those times. So it's disappointing, but I can't fault the lads for effort again.
What's the mood like in the dressing room? I know it's tough to come out and do an interview a few minutes after the dust settles, but I imagine a sombre enough mood in the dressing room. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, the lads are disappointed. We're all disappointed not to extend the season another week, and particularly for the fans. Travelling numbers again today, and they were great. And both sets of fans were great. In fairness, there was a good atmosphere there, and our lads have been brilliant the last number of weeks, all season, but particularly the last number of weeks from the Wexford game on. I think, and even before that, the Bray previous were fantastic, and for 90 minutes in every game and beyond last week in Cove. So we can hang on to that. Look, I know managers and saying they've young squads and the whole lot, but I think we're one of the youngest in the league. On average we have a few older lads like Walshy and Legia, Carol is 25, 26, but I think our average age is as young as anyone, so we have to take that into account as well. It is a young league, but we're definitely one of the younger ones, and the lads will learn from it.
When you look back at the opening 45 tonight, I don't know whether you've the stomach to watch back the video, but the header off the bar, and certainly Lee Devitt's rasping effort, which was tipped over the bar. If the ball fell right for Patrick Ferry twice, he could have scored. There was a lot of chances, Tommy.
Yeah, Mark's got to score. He's headed it down, and it's unlucky because it bounces up into the crossbar, but we should score. We've been working on that and training all week. Cal has been working with the lads on that, so and then Patrick's one, probably needs to score as well. Legion finds him lovely. Good breakaway goal, a good breakaway chance, should I say. Should be a goal. But look, it is what it is. We don't take your chances. I think if we go 1-0 up, we win the game. And I thought it was always going to be 1-0 game. Didn't take our chances. That happens. We just have to take it on the chin. That's football.
People were trickling in from around 1:30, 1:45, Tommy, but come 2:45, 10-3, when you walked out to that ovation from an unbelievable 3D crowd, it must have given you a huge lift, because in all the years that you've been managing, even, we wouldn't get crowds. We certainly don't get that travelling support, but there was a real feel-good factor even with the crowd today.
There was, and they stayed with us for the 90 minutes again. As I said earlier, it was fantastic. Great crowd, great noise, great atmosphere. And Bray made that atmosphere well. As in fairness, their fans were good. But look, best of luck to Bray. They're a good side. They're a good young side. They're well coached, well managed, and well run. So best of luck to them in the playoff against Waterford next week. So we just have to take it on the chin.
And it's always difficult to end the season with a defeat, Tommy, because it's a long winter now, isn't it? But for a manager, your work probably starts again tomorrow morning.
It does, yeah. Look, we'll obviously, there'll be, we have a young squad. We'd like to keep a lot of them together, but there will be comings and goings. It's natural, we need to strengthen. We'll be looking to strengthen our squad and get a bit more experience in, and push on next year. And look to finish higher up the table. And look, if things fall our way, be challenging for the league. That's what we need. We need to be. We need to be challenging. But we need to get players experienced players in to do that, So, and to help out the younger lads. So, as I said, we have a few experience. We need a few more and back them up with the better young lads then.
And very finally, does a day like today and an end of season like this help encourage you bring players now to Treaty? Because certainly people will be looking at you over the last 2 weeks. You look a fine side, you look resilient at the back, you can score goals going forward. Has the last few weeks maybe worked in your favour?
Yeah, I think it does. Look, and even looking at the support that we get, and we've a good pitch in the Markets Field, and we've kept things steady the last number of years, the last 4 or 5 years, and you can hear other clubs there and are promising things, and halfway through the season they need new investors and they need new people coming in. 2 clubs in the first division that happened. The team that won it seem to be in disarray. So we're steady on and off the pitch, and that's the way the League of Ireland needs to be. And players need to see that, and we're certainly aiming for full-time football in the next few years, but we have to get that off-pitch stuff right first. We said that from day one, and we will get it right and then get the two of them together, but we're building all the time, yeah, for sure.
I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of everybody behind the scenes at Treaty, and indeed the people across the Midwest. Tommy, thanks for everything for this season. Tough way to finish the season, but you'll be very proud when you look back on it.
Yeah, I am, Mike. I'm very proud of all the players and everyone at the club, from the back rooms to the team, the board, Kieran, the board, and everyone is all the volunteers and the lads have gone before that as well, that helped bring back Treaty, from the Flames really in 4 or 5 years ago, and hopefully now we can kick on. And particularly proud of the players, obviously. They put in a real great shift, particularly in the last number of weeks, and fantastic achievement to get this far. But let's kick on now further next year.